Okay, all right. So, Rosemary, thank you so very much for giving us the opportunity to have a conversation, which we are having in March, but we are specifically recording this conversation for our conference, which will take place in June. And people who will be listening to this will be sitting in the audience. So, I would like to welcome the audience here. Uh, and I'm really excited to have this brief talk with you because I have a couple of questions that have made me very curious about your background. But let me
Okay.
give you an opportunity to also say hello.
Hi, and to you, Amina, and to the conference.
Mhm.
And I wish you a wonderful time in June. I'm so sorry I can't be there in person because that does make a difference.
It does make a difference, but yes, this is second best. So we're grateful we can do this. So let's dive in because we have a fairly short time. And as you know, the title of our conference is Connections, right? And specifically, what are the maybe hidden dynamics of connecting when we're in some kind of a helping position, profession? And I'm really curious as we live in very, shall we say, interesting times. What do you see? How do we navigate these connections? Is there anything that you can tell us about what is different in times of uncertainty and crisis?
In some ways, I don't know if there's anything different deep down, but on the surface, if times are uncertain, people become more anxious and there is more fear around that sense of
Mm,
insecurity, a lack of safety. So, from that point of view, then there is maybe more contact to be made. It takes longer, more
mm,
patience to be had. And I think the way to make that contact and connection is as it's always been. And you've actually named how to do it, which is curiosity,
mm,
genuine curiosity,
mm,
not professional curiosity, but curiosity which is based in human to human contact and connection.
mm, mm,
So, as a TA person, I think about the idea of the child ego state being all our lived experience
mhm,
and to
mhm,
find some commonality with
mhm,
whoever we're working with in our lived experience. That sort of connection is so important
mm,
to then build upon and to then make another connection. And so it goes on so that we've got things in common.
mm,
Whether it's that simple thing about I've got a child aged, well, my real child is age
mm,
37 and a grandchild of 2.5.
mhm,
Those
mhm.
immediately become contact points.
Yeah.
And for
Mhm.
the curiosity not to be a parent-child power dynamic.
Right. Mhm,
So me asking questions about you, but me saying things about me and inviting you to comment and connect with, yeah, whatever
mhm,
that might
mhm,
be.
mhm,
So a piece that I was interested in, and as soon as we met today, was that picture behind you and the idea of the blue door. And is it a
mm,
prison door with its
mhm,
grill? Where is it? All of that
mhm,
with the plant and the tiles. It's like, ah, that's
mhm,
something I can connect to. Those sorts of tiles, that sort of door, and that sort of plant. I've come across them before.
mm,
And then being curious about, I've come across them, but I can't quite think where.
Mm-hmm.
And you telling me then it's a picture from Portugal. It's like,
Right.
And then we could probably talk about Portugal. And
Yes.
that sort of commonality,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
connection we would build on.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I love this word that you use, the lived experience,
Yeah.
right? Because it's a little different and deeper than just experience.
Mm.
Lived
It's
experience is
yeah.
full of life and life's
Yeah.
joys and sorrows and all of that
It's
appeared.
subjective.
It's subjective.
Subjective. And I think that's a real basis of relational working
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is subjectivity
Mm.
and intersubjectivity.
Right. Right.
And we will share, by the time we finish this, we will have each of us will have lived experience of doing this.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, I love that because that instantly, like you said, it instantly connects.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And yet we often hear in our trainings to try to really curtail our subjectivity or leave it out as much as possible, but
Impossible.
yet
Impossible.
impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible. Right.
And the reason that we learn or we're trained to do that is because of bias. And
Mm-hmm.
the reality is we are all biased and we have so many biases about all sorts of things. And maybe it's better to become very aware of my own biases
Right. Right.
rather than pretend they're not there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's self-aware.
Which is again a point for connection
Mm.
because like you said we all have biases, so
Yeah.
once I accept my own,
Yeah.
we have another
Yeah.
point to connect on.
Yeah. And okay, some of my biases will be unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So they will be out anyway.
Right. Right.
Um,
Right.
you will notice them and I won't because
Mm.
they're unconscious to me. But you can see some
Mm-hmm.
patterns, perhaps.
Right, back and forth.
Yeah,
The ones that are in my blind spot will obviously not be available
absolutely.
for me
But
either. Yeah, I'm curious because we both have a fairly international background. And as I looked at your work, you really have done a lot of work internationally. And so that's another connecting point for us. And it made me really curious. What is your experience in connecting with in different cultures, with different cultures?
so the piece for me, why I keep doing it, why I keep going to places I've never been. So I've
Mm,
just been to Saudi Arabia, for example.
wow.
And the reason I do that is because every time I meet another culture, I get to realize something about my own
Hmm.
and the limitations, the biases
Yeah.
that I
Mm-hmm.
carry culturally. And I do
Mm-hmm.
think as human beings, we're shaped much more by culture than this pop psychology idea of mum and dad shaped us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
family culture shaped us,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And many other cultures. School has a culture. Um, we'll have a culture from the sort of place we grow up in, organizations we work for. We are shaped constantly and continuously by all sorts of cultures, including national culture
Mm-hmm.
and class and gender. These all have huge influences on us that we're not very aware of until we step out of them. And
Mm-hmm.
then something in the culture we've stepped into shocks us in a
Mm-hmm.
small way or a big way. And then we realize, I do anyway, about my own shape, my own cultural heritage. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say is that basically the difference is what helps us realize our own
Mm.
characteristics or attributions or even our awareness.
Absolutely. It's like that old saying about the fish is swimming in the sea, so how can they know anything about the
Right.
sea?
Right. Don't ask them about water because
Absolutely.
they won't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. And yet it's very apparent that in many parts of our lives nowadays, this difference is what is being well, shall we say, attacked or somehow
Yeah.
questioned the
Yeah.
relevance of it.
Yeah. And some differences are seen as being more valuable than others.
Right. Mm.
And yet, we're all limited
Mm.
as individuals, as groups, in companies, as societies. We're all limited. And much better to appreciate that
Mm.
and therefore appreciate these differences.
Mm.
And that attack on our difference, if we can look at that benignly,
Mm.
then it disturbs our frame of reference. And that disturbance can only be healthy. To be
Mm.
disturbed out of our complacency of
Mhm.
everyday life is wonderful.
Mhm.
When there's too much disturbance, and I think in our world at the moment, it can seem as if there's too much disturbance, too much, too frequent, too ongoing, then we can't find what in TA I would call enough adult, enough
Right.
reality testing
Mm.
to be
Mm.
able to stand up and think, okay.
Mm.
And then we're overwhelmed.
Right.
And that's not helpful.
Mm.
When we're in that state, when we're distressed,
Mm.
overstressed, we cannot process
Mhm. Mhm.
difference.
So I'm thinking as I'm listening to your words, as a helping professional, let's say I'm a coach, a supervisor, uh, but a lot of things affect me as well nowadays. And I do experience occasionally similar overwhelming disturbances. Um, so what can help when you're in the situation of supporting somebody else while you yourself uh, have a lot of uncertainty around you, and maybe it's difficult to find your adult, like you said.
Yeah. So self-care is then
Mm.
crucial. And that can be through the support, peer groups, supervision, other people in similar
Mm.
situations, going to a more individual level of massage and um, one's own counseling or therapy, one's own personal work. And on a bigger level, I think being engaged in feeling that we make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that participation in whatever we're passionate about
Mm.
is really important. And for some of that passion to take the long view
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that, yeah, things are really tough at the moment. And there is nothing like being engaged, for example, in the world of art. So
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned going to Saudi Arabia. The reason I went was to see an art exhibition of Islamic art from
Mm.
the beginnings of Islam right through to now.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And the refreshment that there is from looking at the long view, from hundreds of years, from looking at art which originated in so many different countries
Mm-hmm.
and the beauty of all of that. That really
Mm.
helps. It's probably why
Mm.
you've got the plant in the background behind you and the tile, you know.
It's a form of art as well, for sure.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something collective about it, not just individual and peer groups who might well share the same frame of reference. And that's really helpful in terms of support. And we need to go outside of our frame.
And one way of doing that is traveling and experiencing different cultures.
For me, yes. And the food.
Yes.
Yeah, with the different cultures. I mean, some of that you can do by staying at home as well. But yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, I think we connect on that level as well. A lot of traveling and checking out different cultural food experiences for sure. Absolutely. And yet when I think when and you mentioned this too, when two people start engaging, we already are in an intercultural space.
Absolutely. Yeah, even though we think we share the same culture and we will share many things in common, we will also be different.
Right.
And that's really important to acknowledge. And we know that from just thinking about families and two siblings who will end up having huge arguments about a picnic they went on one day when they were children. To one, it was raining and it was grey and it was miserable. And for the other one, it was sun was shining and it was a wonderful day out. We see things differently.
We get back to
our own lens. Yeah.
Yeah, to the lived experience. Like you said, it's very subjective, even though we went to the same picnic.
Exactly.
But our lived experiences will be completely different.
And what we shouldn't do is mistake our lived experience for reality. And that's often a mistake that we make. That's a delusion. It's not reality. It's my lived experience.
Right. That's hard, though.
It's very hard.
It's hard. It requires a lot of adult.
It does indeed. And it requires a philosophical understanding. And, you know, I look at this table, which you can't see. And, you know, to me, it's a beautiful table. To you, it might be a hideous table. It is still a table. It functions as a table. The difference is how we see it.
Right.
In terms of one of the dimensions, beauty, but in another dimension, it functions as a table. I've got my papers, I've got my computer on it. And you've presumably got something at your end.
Yep.
But we also can't see which functions in that way. That's the
Absolutely.
That's the reality. So distinguishing.
Right. Right. And in order to dive into a connection, this kind of bias, shall we say, that my reality is better or more important or more valid.
Yeah, your reality is valid. It's yours. It's your experience of that reality. And let's separate out the reality of existence from our experience of reality of existence. It's subtle, and yet in the same time, it's so everyday. And we all know deep down that actually these two things are different. And often playing with that idea of the table or some such thing is a good way to cross that connection with each other in terms of bridging. We have a difference in our experience of reality, and there is a reality which has in some sort of existence of its own.
And that both of these subjective realities can be valid at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we're in the realms of philosophy now.
We are, yeah, exactly. And I'm also aware of time, and my curiosity is going in many different directions. But maybe what would be a message, if there is one, that you would you would like to give or send to our colleagues here who are getting ready to go to workshops and to participate in this conference, and of course continue with their work, hopefully enriched by our day to day.
To have a wonderful time and to stay with your own authenticity.
Mm.
And don't put it on somebody else, but it's yours, and to feel validated for the workshops that you do and expanded. There is nothing like learning to really be a great place for connection with others, both in the here and now of the conference and into your work with other people and helping professions in the future. Yeah.
I love this notion of expanded. That's really rich and beautiful.
And hopefully lifelong.
And hopefully
on
lifelong.
Expanding. Yeah.
Right, right. And I'm happy to say we will expand with you as well, because you will be here in Budapest in person in December. We will have an opportunity to learn from you and with you at a workshop, a 2-day workshop.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about that as well.
Yeah. Me
would
too.
you like to say a quick sentence about it?
Yeah, we're calling it Women's Journeys because it's about our work with women and our work as women. And the idea that throughout our life, we could think of it as a journey. There are different phases and stages and places we go, which make an impact on us biologically, psychologically, attitudinally, existentially, experientially, makes so much difference and make a difference in terms of that lived experience that we might share with each other, but make a difference in how we see each other, how we appreciate each other, and the strengths that emerge from different times in our lives. Part of that expansion, really, of the individual. It's going to be so rich, just exploring all of that.
Yeah, just listening to you, I'm feeling more and more energy and curiosity and excitement, and I love the word expanding, returning to our conversation.
Great.
So thank you so very much for giving us this opportunity, and we are really looking forward to seeing you in December. I hope some of my colleagues from the audience will be able to participate and be there live with us.
Me too.
And until then, wishing you all the best. Lots of good, expanding learnings and good journeys.
Yeah, enjoy everybody.
Thank you.